Welcome back to CW11's Home Track Heroes at Evergreen Speedway as we roll into the middle of the Sweet 16 bracket for the grassroots competition. We got Kevin Walsh and Tario coming up, and tell us a little bit about these drivers, because they're definitely not just your typical grassroots drivers.
Yeah, both of these drivers are very seasoned, pretty seasoned drivers here at Evergreen Speedway. Both have been competing here for quite a while. Kevin Walsh and Garrett both have at least a season under their foot. So I've got some pretty high expectations between these two. Let's go down on track and see what these guys can put together. All right, Kevin Walsh on the line. He's going to be setting the pace for this first battle. S13 Sylvia Coupe going up against a V8 swapped RX-7. Again, lots of cool, unique cars out here in drifting. Kevin Walsh doing a great job transitioning and getting in that zone. Garrett, though, right there behind him, not too much of a gap as we see them working our way through the Einfield power alley, transitioning. Nice and tight, though, laying down the smoke, getting right on his rear bumper as a strong, powerful finish there, laying down the smoke. Garrett Thoreau. I'm not sure who the advantage is. Going to have to finish things off here as Garrett's going to be leading and Kevin Walsh in the chase position. Let's see what they can do. Garrett, again, V8 RX-7 going up against, I believe, turbo 4-cylinder, an SR underneath the hood of that 240 as they make their approach. Wow, Kevin on the attack, nice and tight on that rear quarter panel. FC RX-7 doing his thing out front. Garrett laying down the angle, nice and tight around that inside clip. Almost getting lost in the smoke, but Kevin staying committed at this point as they wrap around that final inside, and he is right on his rear end. Gonna take it down to Earl, and let's see who the winner is.
Kevin Walsh, actually one of my teammates. I'm going to be a little biased with this interview. Kevin!
Hi, Dad!
How you feeling? How's the car running? And
honestly, man, it's been a day just plagued with problems, and I just, you know what, I made a couple changes, and it's working so far. So cross your fingers, it's going to stay in one piece, and we're just going to keep driving.
I heard you're actually on borrowed parts from one of our other teammates from the pits, from Nikolai's car.
You know, I borrowed some parts from him. He obviously didn't, you know, give them to me. I had to take them off his car, but, you know, free labor, right? So.
Heck yeah, man. I'm stoked for you, and hopefully we'll see you advance into the finals.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Two very ecstatic guys down on track. As we move on to our next battle, we got Carlton McDonald and Cole Townsend.
All right, another E36 chasing down a Fox body Mustang. Let's see what they can do. Cool styles going on with that Fox body, but whoa, aggressive attack. E36 right on the rear end of that Mustang. Wow, solid moves there. Cole Townsend. But Carl McDonald holding his own as contact is made. Slight contact. You can see now that corner light barely hanging like a dingleberry off that front end as they wrap their way around. Wow, super tight battle there. I don't think we could have gotten any closer there, but a slight deduction since contact was made. But let's see what we got with Cole Townsend out front, Carl McDonald in the Mustang. Carlton, let's see if he can do the dance behind him here. A little bit of a gap established, not as close of a run as we saw, but let's see if he can keep it clean. Again, a slight deduction, I think, since there was contact made on that last run. So Carlton McDonald has the advantage going into this battle. Both drivers finished off cleanly, though.
Carlton McDonald is progressing into the top 8. How you doing, man?
Good, how about you?
I'm all right. How's the ar running, and how was the runs?
As of right now, it's running really great. We made a couple changes to tire pressure to get it to where I like to drive it. This last run, it felt great. I know we got in a little bit of contact on my lead run, so my chase run, I just stayed nice and consistent in proximity and hammered down.
And our final battle of the Sweet 16, we got Sam Yeatman and Corey LaPlante.
Another pair of drivers that have been driving here for a while. Corey LaPlante, fresh engine work getting done. Going up against Sam Yeatman. He likes to call himself the Yeatman. Oh, big corrections, though, as Corey seems to be fighting with his car, falling out of drift, and really just straightening out there. Meanwhile, out front, Sam Yeatman, I was going to say he was holding his own, but then over-rotates and spins out. Now, at this point, this run is basically a 0-0, and judges will have to base the decision of who advances onto the next battle by basically this next run. So a 0-0 on the first run, and here we go. Corey LaPlante is going to be again, this is his final chance, both these drivers, to make a good impression on the judges. Huge gap established there. Let's see if Sam Yeatman can close the gap. Corey LaPlante figuring his car out after struggling with the first half of the battle. Seems to still be fighting things somewhat, but again, other than the large gap established, I mean, a lot of corrections I'm seeing on this battle. Curious to know what the judges decide here. We're going to give it to Earl to figure out who wins.
Corey LaPlante with Z32. Man, you are in the semifinals. How you feeling? And you worried about anything?
I'm just stoked to have made it this far. As long as the car keeps running, I'll be happy. It's a good day.
We're definitely pour on the smoke at the last turn over there. The tires are hooking up well.
Yeah, it just feels like it's dialing right in, right where I want it. So just keep on sending it.
Heck yeah, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
And our first battle in the final 8, we got Jonathan Einfield and Brian Sturman rolling out right now.
Things are getting hot now as we've got the Corvette out front, the E30 giving chase. But again, the biggest thing I've been seeing with these grassroots drivers is that large gap established. Other than that, a lot of these guys holding their own. As we go to our drone footage here provided by MBC FPV, solid footage. It's both drivers making their way through the course. The Corvette nice and tight on the clips, couldn't ask any more of him. But again, just hoping that E30 was a little bit closer. So as we switch positions, let's see what kind of pressure the Corvette can put on the rear quarter of that E30 BMW. By the way, super clean paint. Brian Sturman must have gotten this thing redone over the winter. Getting chased down by that C5 Corvette, if I am not mistaken. But already, like I said, pressure is on as he is working his way. Einfield just pressuring him. I'm sure you can hear him right outside the driver window as they work their way through. It's a good angle, though, by the car out in front, setting a solid lead. But the pressure is on by that Corvette. Let's go to Earl to figure out who advances to the next round.
All right, Jonathan Einfield, you are in the quarterfinals, my friend. Slow and steady? No, but you're putting the smoke out there. How you feeling, dude?
I'm feeling good. I mean, better than I could have expected, but thankfully I've gotten good opponents to go up against, so really good.
You seem very calm and collected. Have you been driving like pretty regularly over here, or?
Yeah, I've been out to this track quite a lot. Finally got my car to a good point where I can trust it and not spin out all the time, but I'm just out here to have fun, so running with a guy like that, I know him and I know he's gonna drive good, so I'm just out here to have fun, and that's how you keep calm.
Awesome, man. Consistency is key, and good luck.
Awesome, thank you.
And the next pairing to line up in the round of 8 is Julio Losch and Eric Walsh.
Another David versus Goliath battle here. SR20, that's 4-cylinder turbo, S13 going up against a V8 Corvette, but Julio Losch not holding back as he sets it up right behind Eric and that Corvette, not to be held back at all. Great run so far by both the drivers. Again, NBC FPV, that's Marvin Boyd capturing some solid drone footage as both drivers laying down a pretty gnarly first run. Let's see what he can do out front. Again, the 4-cylinder turbo SR20 going up against the V8 power of the Corvette as he's just pressing on that rear bumper. You can see him just barking at the passenger door there of Julio. Again, Julio on the right-hand side drive of the imported car here. But man, both drivers, really impressive stuff as you can see as we work our way down through the top 16, now onto the top 8, the driving is just getting more and more ecstatic. Solid chase by Eric. Let's take it to Earl.
All right, we're here with Julio Losch. That was a very close run, guys, and I think it could have gone either way, but I'm gonna make sure. We got Julio Losch for the win. Just want to confirm, Julio Losch? Yes, I just got confirmation. Julio Losch won that one. So,
Hey, to be honest, I was 100% sure I lost.
why is that?
I felt he just held a tighter line to me. Unless our solo lead runs were different, he was way tighter to me the whole run. I could hear him. I think he even gave me a little push. I was like, yep, it's OV, bro.
Well, congratulations to you, man, and winning's winning.
And that's probably one of the most competitive grassroots battles we'll see is lining up next. We got Alex Cuervo and Kevin Walsh taking the battle.
Kevin Walsh, again, pretty seasoned here. Alex Cuervo, decent amount of seat time as well as he's starting to put the pressure on and trying to get on the same line there as Kevin. Kevin, though, solid looking S13 this season as he decides to mix things up vinyl-wise, extending that gap he has over Alex Cuervo. Alex doing everything he can to keep up pace, but just a solid setup in that S13, and Alex finishing off strong as well. I'm not seeing any big mistakes there, so I think pretty evenly matched. Let's see if Kevin Walsh can apply a little bit more pressure this time. Keep it up on Alex Cuervo out in front, really digging the stars and stripes, kind of a galaxy theme here on that E36. Between the purple and the black, kind of digging it. And seeing that similar gap. Alex, though, washing out really wide. Again, judges want to see the drivers nice and tight on those large barrels you see on the inside of the track, grazing that outside zone. Kevin, though, you can see him going off track, though. That might be a huge deduction there for him as he was looking really strong.
Alex Cuervo is advancing to the quarterfinals. Alex, killing it.
Just excited. It's awesome. Never been up this high before.
Consistency, right?
Yeah, it is. Hopefully I got enough gas to last the day. I'm running out, and I didn't bring spare.
How's your tires?
Fine now. I got one set left, so hopefully we can make it.
Go, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
And our final battle rolling out in the final 8 of Grassroots. We got Carlton McDonald and Corey LaPlante.
Corey LaPlante giving chase, but really just falling out of drift, so huge deduction from the start. Meanwhile, Carlton kind of doing his thing out front and holding pretty strong. Smooth and steady all day Carlton has been in that Fox Body Mustang, but I think Corey's kind of been struggling with his setup in that Z. But falling into drift now could be too little too late as Carlton finishes off strong. And Corey LaPlante, let's switch up the drivers. Let's check in with our footage from NPC FPV and give these guys a chase from the air. Carlton getting set up behind that Z33, that 300ZX. Staying in drift this time. I'm not sure what issues he's been having, but falling into position now as Carlton puts the pressure on behind that T-top 300ZX. Looking good, lots of improvements this time. But again, we saw him fall out of drift, and that could be it. Let's take it down to Earl.
Carlton is advancing to the next battle, man. How you feeling? And
The car feels great. We got a good car today, so I'm just out there doing what I do and hammering down. That's all I can do.
where did you think you got him?
I know I took off on him a little bit in my lead run, and I created a little bit of a gap, and it was a pretty good lead run. I hit all my points, and right in my chase, I was able to keep tight proximity, and I think that's where I got the advantage.
Both of your guys' cars seem fast and dialed in, but you give them a little bit of the Gapplebees at the start.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hit the throttle and gave her the beans, and that's all I could do.
Now, I think once Corey LaPlante kind of figures out that car a little bit more and gets some more seat time, he's going to be a threat for sure. He shows a lot of promise there as we continue on our Grassroots Pro-Am Round 1 presented by Bartle and going into the Final Four. Overall thoughts?
It's been great competition. The driving is getting better as we work our way down through the top 8. And we've got a little bit of a break here, so we'll check in with you guys after the commercials.